Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire Service. We're talking with All-State basketball player at Riverside, Kylie Lavelle, in her sophomore season. Kylie, welcome into the show.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about your season this year. Again, a lot of success as a team, but individually, you're an all-state player. Talk about what that feels like to finish that way for yourself.
I mean, it feels pretty great. I wouldn't have gotten that far without my teammates or my coaches that pushed us to do as best as this, to go as best and as far as we could.
You had that freak injury your freshman year there. Talk a little bit about your mindset and being able to kind of bounce back from that in a little bit of an ice or snow injury for yourself, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Well, that injury made me push to be harder and know that no matter what, like the injury, it could happen to anybody and it could ruin your career if you don't take care of it the right way.
Talk about growing. I mean, 6'1". Talk about just growing into your body a little bit. You're a guard, but you can play anywhere on the floor, and I think you show that at any given time on what spot you could play on the floor there at Riverside.
Height does a lot during basketball. I feel like I got like more rebounds and stuff. It's easier to see up the floor and give the ball to my teammates.
Talk about working on your game. What are things that you're working on constantly? We've all kind of been a little bit static the last 5-6 weeks or so here, but I'm sure there's a whole lot going on for you. You're doing a bunch of backyard basketball. What's going on there?
Practicing my front yard, shooting, dribbling, making sure I stay in shape for basketball season, working out in my basement.
Let's talk about that team there at Riverside. First of all, let's talk about playing for Coach Mikhailo. What's it like to play for Coach Mikhailo and the assistant coaches there at Riverside?
It's really great. We always have a fun time at practices, after practices. During the game, we always laugh and stuff. We get along a lot. We get along really good.
You have a lot of talent there at Riverside. Talk about all the different girls, and there's a lot of girls that are pretty darn hungry and want to play on the floor, but there's just so much talent. Sometimes it limits some of the other players off the bench, but there's just there's really a nice team there for the Lady Vikes.
Yeah, we have a good mixture of girls. We have Elise Karpinski, who could jump. She could get rebounds. She could shoot. She could shoot. She's like pretty much the whole package. And then you have Emily Taylor, who's mostly a three-point shooter. Once she's on for the rest of the game. And you have Kayla Rose, who's mostly a post player, but she could shoot also, and she's pretty good too. And then we have, I'm not sure who's going to start for Leah next year, but we have Paige Olanovich, Morgan Antonacci, and Bella McKeefery. They're all mostly the same people, but they're fast, athletic, could shoot. So I feel like we'll have a pretty good year next year.
When you talk about the All-State honors for yourself, talk about being able to get that, accomplish that. Is that something obviously, you're a team player, you want to do well, you want to make sure the Riverside Lady Vikes go far, but individually, did you have some high goals and say, hey, I hope I can accomplish something like this?
I mean, I didn't think I was going to get it this year because we didn't even make it to states, but it was a pretty great honor. But I'm hoping next year that we could make it a little bit further. I would be happy. I just want to go to the Mohegan States.
The Dunmore Lady Bucks, great basketball team. Mariah Murray was honored All-State. Talk a little bit about what it's like to play against a team like that, a player like Mariah, and to know that, they're just a tough team year in and year out.
Yeah, they have a great team. Mariah, Murray, and Sierra Toomey, they're like a package together. They look for each other all the time, but then all their other guards could all shoot and drive. It's a great team.
When you talk about other basketball for you, AAU, let's discuss a little bit about the opportunities that you've had with AAU basketball.
So I transferred AAU teams last year to Philadelphia Bells. I feel like I got like a lot better with them. I got more comfortable playing against better people. I feel like that's why it is so good during the season.
To simulate that type of game right now, it just can't do it. You might be able to play with a couple of siblings, but it's tough to get together even with your teammates because it's kind of frowned upon right now. It just we don't know where we're at right now with the coronavirus. So, but I'm sure your parents might be like, listen, you could go around and play with your brother or whatever you have to do. So, talk about what you feel like you are doing to get better and be positive with your game of basketball right now.
I mean, I'm playing against my older brother Timmy, but he's not really like as competitive as other people. And then my little brother's the oldest one is 8, so it's not really competitive at all. So I'm mostly doing things on my own.
And as far as your family, let's talk about the folks and the whole family and talk about the athleticism and the drive there with the Lavelles.
So my dad is pretty athletic. He played baseball, he played football, and he played basketball. My mom wasn't really an athletic, like she didn't really play sports. Timmy, my older brother, he played football, baseball, and he played basketball when he was younger. He was pretty good at football. That's pretty much it though. And then Pat and Brady, they're Patrick's really good at basketball, and Brady, I feel like he'll be good at baseball.
When you talk about down the road here, Division One, Division Two, Division Three, do you have any goals? Do you have any parameters there, or are you wide open as to what you may want to do down the road?
I want to go Division 1, and I want to try to get the best education possible.
As far as close to home, far away, is there an hour, 3 hours from home? Do you have any ideas on any of that, or is it, hey, whatever school's interested in me and they have my major, that's where I may want to look at?
Whatever school is interested, but I want it to be like I don't want to go out to California. I'd rather stay a little bit closer, like not too far, but like I won't go. Like I'll go like 5 hours away.
Okay. All right, so we know the big circle. We're going to draw it on the map to 5 hours away.
Yep.
And that's where Kylie Lavelle might play some basketball, of course. As far as the future for you with the game of basketball, are there some players that you've looked up to, whether it's at Riverside or some college players or some WNBA players or NBA players for that matter?
Um, I mean, I don't really look up to people. I just play my own game, but I like Steph Curry from the Warriors. I like Zion Williamson. Like I
Well,
don't really like follow people though.
that's okay. That's a couple of good guys that you got to like their game and respect, obviously, what they're doing. As far as being a student athlete at Riverside, talk a little bit about the studies and how you're doing in the classroom.
I'm doing really good in the classroom. I have a 3.7 GPA, and I just have to keep my grades up so I can get into like the colleges, and they don't like go past me because I don't have good grades to get in.
Well, Kylie, all-state player here, your sophomore year. Heck of a job in the classroom, a bright, bright future ahead of you. Keep working hard during this pandemic. It is great to catch up with you.
Thank you.
Kylie Lavelle from Riverside here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire Service.